Thank you very much for invitation. Yes. Yeah, Professor Dr. Faiz, Chairman of the ISIS Malaysia, SNC Takahashi-kun, Ambassador of Japan to Malaysia. He entered in the same year as I did in the Foreign Ministry in 1987. It is my great pleasure that I came over to Kuala Lumpur to be here in such a beautiful place. First and foremost, and also the ladies and guests, panelists, and ladies and gentlemen, it is I understand that today was a busy day for many people. But it is my great pleasure that you made time this afternoon, changing your schedule to be here to discuss and deepen our ideas and visions and ideas about how to implement and promote ASEAN-Japan cooperation for the future. Let me first emphasize that this is a very timely event for me as well, because I worked very hard in Jakarta to support the ASEAN-Japan cooperation on this special year of 50th anniversary. And this is the very first event in Tokyo, in Japan, and in ASEAN to review what we've agreed on last year and think about the next steps. And this is an ideal setting in Malaysia, which is going to take the chair next year for the follow-up of the summit agreement, which took place just a month ago. Let me, I made it quite simple. 3 questions. Why are we here? Why is ASEAN-Japan cooperation important? That's the first question. And second question, which is the beef of the presentation, what was achieved in the 50th year of ASEAN-Japan friendship and cooperation from the beginning in January last year till December. And I'd like to summarize all the deliverables which we made last year. And most importantly, on the third point, how to make the most of ASEAN-Japan cooperation for the future, especially in addressing the challenges, opportunities that Professor Faiz raised at the opening remarks. All those challenges are very severe. We need to work together to address common challenges. So why is ASEAN-Japan cooperation important? I think ASEAN is important for Japan, and I hope that Japan is important for ASEAN, including Malaysia, for 3 reasons. To make it simple, ASEAN is important for Japan for first, its geostrategic location. It's the center of the Indo-Pacific, with choke point of a major sea lane just next to Malaysia. So it's critically important for Japan to keep ASEAN peaceful and prosperous. So we've got a big stake in ASEAN. Secondly, it's the growth center of the world without further explanation. Thirdly, it's equally important. It's the hub. Now it's become the hub of multi-layered cooperation, thanks to the more than 50 years of ASEAN success. The multi-layered cooperation, including ASEAN Plus 3 and EAS, and now AOIP. And I'm hoping that I thought about Japan's value for ASEAN. First, I think it's also related to Japan's position as a non-Western country. It's a track record of high economic performance growth. I think it was emulated by all ASEAN countries. And Japan has undergone severe challenges of pollution and of aging and all the digitalization, all those challenges which ASEAN is going to face, and Japan can make most of its experience, provide experience for ASEAN to make use of. So, and secondly, Japan, Japan's automobiles, electric appliances, and think we are very proud of our technology. And I think with all the growing economy in mind, I think this technological element with meticulous craftsmanship, that's another key value of Japan as compared with other countries. Thirdly, it's a global democratic power in Asia. It's the only country in G7 from Asia, and a major country in G20, and the most frequent member of the UN Security Council. And Japan can fully understand the challenges and opportunities and feelings, frustrations, so that can be addressed in the global arena, in norm-making and charting the direction of the course. So simply put, ASEAN and Japan had a win-win collaboration. That was the basis. Against this background, I don't want to elaborate on all the history, which I think quite nicely summarized by Professor Hai himself at the very beginning. Simply put, from the difficult start in 1973, for a rapid economic expansion and addressing the Vietnam War and Cambodian peace process, and then financial crisis, and tsunami and earthquake in 2004, followed by this AHA Center, Disaster Management Center, supported by Japan, but created by ASEAN. And also the start of the ASEAN community building process in 2000. That was supported first by JAIF, I think, which was followed by China, Republic of Korea, and other countries. You know, this ASEAN partner jointly managed fund for the benefit of ASEAN community building. That is initiated by Japan. And area is providing all sorts of policy support for ASEAN chair. I hope that area will be useful for Malaysia as well next year. And then most recently, you know what took place against COVID? And in addition to the provision of vaccination, this ACFeed, the Global Health Center, ASEAN, in response to this ASEAN Plus 3 Summit in 2000 online, Japan, then Prime Minister Suga made a commitment about $50 million so that ASEAN can have its own infectious disease center. So all those contributions, I'd say just 2 points. One is that Japan has always been with ASEAN to support, address the challenges. It's not just once, many times. Every time ASEAN faces challenges, Japan is supporting ASEAN. And second point is, it's not just from outside. Japan is supporting ASEAN's ownership and solidarity and leadership. And Japan is not taking over, just always supporting ASEAN's capacity building and leadership. This is embodied by the famous Fukuda Doctrine. It is really amazing that as early as 1977, Japan captured the spirit of ASEAN just 10 years after the creation of ASEAN, when ASEAN was composed of just 5 countries. First part is commitment to peace. Secondly, trust based on heart-to-heart understanding and exchange. Thirdly, this is also important. Japan is an equal partner of ASEAN and its member countries, and cooperate positively with them in their own efforts to strengthen their solidarity and resilience. And together with the other nations, so it's also referring to the expansion of ASEAN in this doctrine. So all those elements have been pronounced. And last year, as I attended a number of events, some academics say that the reason why Japan is appreciated is Japan has been following through this Fukuda Doctrine. And we are committed to continue following up. This equal partner is emphasized, trust is emphasized. So this is the first point. Let me move on to what was achieved by ASEAN and Japan last year. I think the summary is, in one word, the trusted partners. You know, we know that ASEAN has become much stronger than 50 or more years ago. It's now the center of the Indo-Pacific, and so many partners, you don't have to name them, including, say, US and China, Australia, India, or Republic of Korea, New Zealand, and EU, UK, and the Middle Eastern countries. And one after another, countries around the world are approaching ASEAN and making new partnerships, which is natural. So inevitably, Japan's weight as compared with the overall partnership is changing. So we are conscious of this. So on this occasion, we thought about what is distinct about Japan with all the achievements. And it was one word, trust. So Japan, I must say, is the fifth comprehensive and strategic partner for ASEAN, followed by following Australia, China, US, India. But we believe Japan is the first and possibly the only partner with a name and brand of trusted partners. So and I hope that Japan is not the only one. I think starting from ASEAN and Japan, we are hoping that other partners are coming to work with ASEAN with trust. So Japan can be the very first to demonstrate the trusted relationship with ASEAN, which is our hope, to make the world peaceful and prosperous. So the three pillars that Ambassador Takahashi mentioned are heart-to-heart partners across generations, then partners for co-creation, economy, and society for the future. Co-creation is a key word, and partners for peace and stability. And then, in addition to this branding or conviction of the importance of trust for our mutual benefit, which will be the very foundation of our collaboration, the other key deliverable is the multiple announcement, the collaboration, the areas of collaboration. It's 130 cooperation items, which was in the document. So this joint vision statement is just a 3-page short thing, but this implementation plan is a 18 pages, 130 paragraph document across sectors. And as I hear from many ASEAN people, this implementation plan is the very important outcome because it delivers concrete benefits with actions for the future. And those three are the key deliverables that these items are the items which our Prime Minister himself announced on the occasion of the dinner at the State Guest House. It's called Actions for Peace and Prosperity through Co-creation based on Trust. To make the concrete, I sort of just highlight the important elements regarding heart-to-heart partners exchanges and trust. This first project, the WAP Project 2.0, that partnership to co-create a future with the next generation, that is 40 billion yen, that's about a 300 million US dollars project, which is doubling the commitment, doubling of the commitment that Japan made 10 years ago. So we felt that we need, after 50 years, the further doubling of investments on people-to-people exchange and intellectual and cultural exchange. So that was announced last month, just in December last year. And also science and technology innovation investment, that was also 15 billion yen, that is about 100 plus million US dollars. So those are the major announcements that Japan made on that occasion. And regarding the co-creation of economy and society of the future, throughout the course of a discussion on ASEAN-Japan cooperation, both sides agreed that it's not, say, economic assistance or technical assistance. Now that ASEAN has grown and is expanding, it is the co-creation to address challenges, provide solutions through innovation. That is the most important approach. Therefore, Japan made an announcement on this Asia Zero Emission Community Platform, including the creation, establishment of the Asia Zero Emission Center in the area, and also Next Generation Automobile Industries Initiative, and also the establishment of startup hubs and supporting the digitalization of MSMEs and strengthening connectivities. All those are boosting of private investment. Those are the concrete commitment, financial and also institutional commitment that Japan made on this occasion, which was just announced in December. And third part, that is equally significant for this occasion. Relationship between ASEAN and Japan has long been just exchange and economic development. But against the background of severe geopolitical and geostrategic challenges, Japan needs to be the supporter of ASEAN in ensuring peace and prosperity against this very difficult time. So, including this OSA, Official Security Assistance, that Ambassador Takahashi mentioned, and maritime cooperation, and cyber security, and also addressing these internal challenges in Myanmar, and all those security elements, and also disarmament and nuclear disarmament as well. The new commitment has been made by the Japanese government, and which was welcomed by the ASEAN side. So this security element is again an important part of Japan's announcement, which was welcomed by ASEAN. And it is to be noted that it's not only the Prime Minister thing. Throughout the year, there were 13 ASEAN-Japan ministerial meetings, and every time those meetings took place, special announcements and deliverables were made, including sports. Sports is very important. Tourism, economy, and also connectivity, transport, environment, it's named Space Initiative, agriculture, and the rule of law. And those are the 8, but the other, including the defense and others, those 13 ministerial meetings took place throughout the year, and the announcements were made. And those will be followed up from this year. The one important initiative by ASEAN is the mainstreaming and implementation of the ASEAN Outlook on the Indo-Pacific, which is promoting the culture of cooperation in the Indo-Pacific region, realizing tangible economic and social benefits, but in addition, forging or deepening trust among actors to promote peace, security. It's a trust-building process as well, which is a distinct answer by ASEAN in this Indo-Pacific agenda. And Japan made a commitment in March last year through the speech of our Prime Minister, committing $100 million of additional funding to Japan-ASEAN Integration Fund. And by December, this is the announcement fact sheet in December. So following the announcement of $100 million, concrete projects have already been made in supporting the strengthening of ASEAN Secretariat, supporting young generations of ASEAN government officials, and also supporting ASEAN's efforts in advancing 4 priority areas. That's maritime cooperation, connectivity, SDGs, and economy. All those concrete efforts have been made throughout the year. And those are just the beginning of concrete actions. So we can jointly formulate concrete actions to substantiate the mainstream and implementation of the AOIP. So there are only 2 more slides, which is the solution, a conclusion. How to make the most of ASEAN-Japan cooperation for the future. I think this summarizes I think after hard work, 1 year, so I myself made this chart of the gist of our opportunities and our missions. You know, Japan has a distinct relationship with ASEAN based on 50 years of trust. And we are now faced with severe global and geopolitical challenges on the right-hand side. That solution needs to be co-created. And this, I'm still working and because there's ASEAN community. And I heard that an academic say ASEAN plus community for the next 20 years. Maybe Japan can be the very first of becoming maybe a different nature, but say ASEAN-Japan community possibly, to just create further value of ASEAN as a catalyst, enabler, so that ASEAN can unleash its potential in both ways. And then the solution, then the added value comes in both directions. One is people's ASEAN. It's a downside, on the ground. So through exchange and cooperation, Japan needs to transform itself to make it a multicultural society. And maybe ASEAN, addressing the gaps, can be an inclusive, equitable, sustainable society. So for Japan and ASEAN, we need to transform the people and institutions on the ground. That is one big challenge. But the other challenge is for the Indo-Pacific region and beyond. ASEAN and Japan should not limit our cooperation only among ourselves. As we create solutions, we need to think about the other countries in the Indo-Pacific region. Our collaboration on the AOIP can benefit countries in the Indo-Pacific region and also through Indo-Pacific region to the world. I think now that ASEAN has become very important in the world, having a mission to contribute to the world in human rights, or peace and security, and rule of law, and the decarbonization as well, digitalization. So there are many other challenging places like Africa and Middle East. So I think Japan and ASEAN can both become an enabler together by creating good solutions in the region. So this diagram shows the mindset for unleashing our opportunities and potentials. So what should we do in concrete terms? 3 points. One is to strengthen multiple people-to-people networks with trust. I think thanks to our predecessors, we've got a good mutual understanding, especially at the senior level. But when it comes to young people, they may be different. They may not know a lot about Japan apart from manga, anime, and some games, but they're interested in other areas. So we need a really expedited exchange among the youth for the future. In addition, like ISIS Malaysia, this intellectual exchange needs to be strengthened. We got the resources, commitment was made, but it is up to us how to make the most of those financial commitment to make the concrete program and project so that our exchange will be expedited. This is the very first thing. So that we need to enable ourselves. Secondly, realizing economic and social benefits through co-creation. You know, those say 10 plus items, those are exactly the same as in the document. I think so those are the pillars of concrete implementation plan. So on those global issues, you know, the commitments are made. So through the power of innovation, by mobilizing startups, maybe using area, using so science tech fund, I think that is realizing, providing tangible benefits for the benefit of people. That is something Japan's going to do, and that is something that ASEAN would really love to do, love to get. Third, but not most importantly, peace. Because now this, including say South China Sea and Taiwan Straits, and also the Gaza, and in the region and around the world, there are so many security geopolitical challenges, and we need to deter and address those challenges, and also promote mutual understanding, trust, to avoid any miscalculations. So what is the way? This is AOIP. So as Japan announced a free and open Indo-Pacific in 2016, and ASEAN announced the AOIP in 2019. And Japan was the very first country to express its support to AOIP in 2020. But as recently as 2023, by our Prime Minister's new free and open FOIP new plan, it's emphasizing the importance of really embracing inclusiveness. So as I read, it's in principle the same as AOIP. That is the reason why Japan supports ASEAN in promoting AOIP through EAS in particular. So, and that is the solution. All the challenges that Professor Faiz mentioned at the very beginning, I think my answer is to support ASEAN in addressing those challenges in the Indo-Pacific region and the world in a concrete manner, like maritime cooperation of IUU fishing or blue economy, so providing tangible benefits in the AOIP area so that trust can be built, misunderstanding can be addressed, and war can be avoided. So this is what we agreed upon in December last year, and what we all need to do is to implement them. So those are my report to all of you about what took place last year. And we are all here together to make the most of the opportunities for the benefit not only for Malaysia and Japan, but also for ASEAN and the region and the world. Thank you very much for your attention.